Safety first.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Good morning and welcome back to Well Lived. I hope that you guys are doing well and you're looking forward to another reveal video. Today is Sunday, March 5th, and the dining room makeover reveal just went live, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it, and I hope that you just love the space as much as I do. I came down this morning with like the biggest smile on my face, almost like it was Christmas morning, because just when I come down the stairs and I make that right turn and I look at how beautiful the dining room turned out, it just makes me so happy. I sat there this morning and had a little bit of coffee and just looked around at how everything came together, from looking at the table to the couch to pulling in pieces that I've had for years, things that were stuck in storage for years because I had nowhere to place them. I just love how everything came together, and I hope that you guys are enjoying that video. So today we are coming back to the foyer area because the last time that we were in this space, this is what happened. I don't like it. I don't like the color. There is something about it. It's giving Halloween. I feel like there's just a little bit too much orange, and online when I saw it on Pinterest, I thought it was beautiful, but now that it's here in this space, it's just not working for me. So what does that mean? That means I need to go find a different tile. And since that video, we have been looking non-stop for tile. And unfortunately, no matter how many times that we have visited tile stores, no matter how many times we have scrolled the internet, and no matter how much money we wanted to throw into this floor, we just were not able to find a brown tile that worked for this space. So what we did was just took a step back and decided to do a little bit of a pivot. And by no means do I feel like I had to compromise at all. And in fact, I think that the tile that we chose is the tile that was supposed to be here all along. So this is what it looks like. It is a cream tile, a matte cream tile, and hopefully you can see it, but it has like a lot of brown veining in it. And I think that it's going to be beautiful because I think that the brown is going to pull in all of the wood elements throughout the house, like the fireplace, like the furniture from the dining room. And then I think that the cream is going to pull in the fabric of the chairs in the dining room, the fabric that will soon be coming from our couch that will be in the living room, as well as the walls. And so that compared or combined with the black tile, I think is really going to be beautiful. And especially now seeing the dining room, I think that this black and cream diamond entryway is going to be really sharp looking. So what is going to happen at the end of this video is, one, these floors are going to be completely finished. Then I'm going to add something very cool to this humongous wall that's behind me, and I cannot wait to show you guys that. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and just pull in all of the furniture and decor and do a final reveal of this entryway space. So I'm going to go and get the materials for the floor, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So I'll see you guys right back here in just a moment. we have basically our template down, I need to go and count all of the empty spaces to see how many cuts that we need to make. So if you remember from the last video, Mark made that really great diagram, and so we decided that we were going to put a rectangle border along this entryway, and then of course we're still going to have to do our half triangle cuts. So I'm going to go around, see how many cuts I need to make, and then I will meet you guys out in the garage at the saw. So this is our new tile saw, and we actually purchased it outright versus renting one because this one was about $89, and then to rent a saw that can cut a 13-inch tile, that was like $64 a day. So because we didn't want to be tied to a day rental, and it just makes sense to spend a little bit more money, because now we can have this for all of our tile projects for the rest of the life of the saw versus having to rush and try to get everything done in a day. So it's really easy to use. It has this guide here that you can put at any measurement that you need. Here's the blade. There's a little guard here that catches the water when it comes out, and then underneath here is where you go ahead and you fill this with water so that as you're pushing the tile through the saw, the water will spin through, so you'll get a nice clean edge. So we're gonna go ahead and make those cuts of the tile that I just mentioned, and then we'll put those down on our template. Safety first. So it wouldn't be one of our projects without something going wrong. So when we cut the rectangular tiles and put them against the tiles that we cut diagonally, we noticed that the tiles that were cut diagonally are not straight. And so we have tried to cut several other tiles and none of them are straight. So what we're going to do is go to Home Depot and get a manual cutter. So basically you'll put the tile into the manual cutter, and then almost like a paper cutter from school, and then you kind of just drag the blade across the tile, basically scoring it, and then you kind of break it in half. And so this is what it's looking like. So you can see here how this tile just is not straight. This is straight for sure, 100% this is level, but this you can see here kind of how there's that gap there, and then the same over here. Look at that. And that's just not gonna do. So off to Home Depot we go. a straight cut.
That's a pretty straight cut, isn't it?
That's a straight cut. Woohoo! Let's go try it. Let's see if it works. Okay. Much better. You see that line? Much better. That is definitely worth the $13 rental. Well, we finally have the tile down. I have spacers in between, and I think everything is good to go. So it is like 6 o'clock. This has literally taken all day long. We have done nothing but this tile. So we are going to call it quits for today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna come back and put the mortar down and then put hopefully the tile on top of that, and then kind of let that sit, and then throughout the week then we'll finally add in the grout. But for now I am going to take a very long break. I'm going to take a very long bath, and then I will see you guys in the morning. Morning. I am feeling so refreshed today. If you guys follow me on my newsletter, you know that I struggle with getting a good night's rest. But last night, I think the tile just must have worn me out, because I went to bed around 9:30 and didn't wake up again until 7:30 this morning, which is very rare. Usually I'm up at least twice during the night, if not more. So to be able to get a good night's rest where I slept all the way through into this morning, I am just feeling really great. So today is day 2 of the tiling process, which means it's time to mortar. And so what I'm going to do shortly is just go get the mortar together, and then I'm just going to take small sections of the tiling, remove that, put the mortar down, and then replace that tile right back in the same place that we put it for the template. And I think it's just going to really make the process easy. So let me go get the mortar, and then I will meet you guys right back here. So the next steps for the tile is to allow it to completely dry for 24 hours. What I did today was just remove all of the excess grout away from the tile, because if I would have waited tomorrow once everything fully dried, it just would have made for a really messy process. So I am really excited about how it's looking. It's looking amazing already, and I know that tomorrow it's going to look even better. So while that is marinating, I thought that I would just take a little bit of a break and then talk to you guys about our next project, which I think is going to be really fabulous. So, as you know, we have a very large vaulted wall in the foyer, and I just haven't known what to do with that space. Originally, I thought of getting a really massive, oversized mirror because that wall could definitely handle something that big. But then I also thought, well, wouldn't it be kind of a cool idea to do a gallery wall in that space? Because then we could add in art and personal pictures, and it could be a really nice welcome for our guests as they come through the front door. So I thought that would be really cool. But then I remembered a episode of Homework on the Discovery Plus channel, and Andy and Candace, they are a husband and wife team, created this beautiful mural in their kitchen. And what they did was they purchased a print off of Etsy, had it printed on vinyl, massive vinyl, and then framed it, and it just looked like this really huge piece of art. And I just remember that episode. I remember the reaction that I had to it, and I thought that I could probably do something like that in my space. So I ended up buying some wallpaper, some removable wallpaper from Etsy, and this is what it looked like. And I loved it. I actually thought that it was very similar to what Andy and Candace did in their home, but then I saw this from Nate Burkus and his husband Jeremiah, and I saw this wallpaper and I fell in love.
So one thing that was important to us in our bedroom was to not do wall covering at all.
Yeah, exactly. And no color.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect example of how much we have evolved as a couple, especially aesthetically.
To live in the city and open your eyes first thing in the morning and just be sort of in this moody, cool forest feels really right.
So yeah, once I saw that, I was like, that wallpaper that I got on Etsy, it's out. It is out. I have to have that wallpaper. I love the colors. I love the moodiness. I love the landscape. I just knew that it was going to be perfect for my space, and I had to find it. So unfortunately, it was not available anywhere to purchase online. So I actually contacted the shop, which is in Italy, and emailed them and said, I saw your wallpaper in Architectural Digest. I fell in love with it. This is the size that I'm looking for. Could you tell me how much it is? Is it available for purchase, and how quickly can I get it? And the very next day, they reached back out to me and told me how much it was, and my eyes got really big because it was very expensive. But this is why I thrift, right? So I have like my couch in the dining room, that was $49. My table is $100. Like most 90% of my home is full of vintage pieces. This piece back here, $40. So then when I get price tags, like the price tag that they gave me for this wallpaper, I can digest it a little bit because I'm like, okay, it's balanced, right? I have these thrifted pieces, but then I have some things that cost a little bit more, and I think my bank account says that's okay. It's called balance. So they went ahead and shipped it to me. I got it in about 3 weeks, and it arrived, and I have not opened it yet. I plan to open that in front of you guys because I just know that it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be perfect. So what Mark and I are about to do is we are going to build out a frame, and we are going to attach the wallpaper to the frame only because I want to take this with me. wherever our next home is, I want this piece to come with me. I don't want to wallpaper directly onto the wall and then frame it out like I've seen some people do. I want to be able to take this with me from place to place. And so we are going to build out a frame. We're going to attach the wallpaper onto the frame, onto some plywood, which you'll see. And then I'll place a stained, I think I'm going to stain it. I'm thinking about potentially painting it, but I think I'm going to stain the surrounding frame and then put it onto our wall. And I think that it's going to be gorgeous. I think that the colors are going to pull in from the colors that you see in the dining room, and it's really going to make this space special. Like it has the essence of the dining room, but the foyer is going to have its own personality, and I cannot wait to get this piece on the wall. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit longer, take a little longer break, and then I will meet you guys out in the garage. So the base of the frame is for the most part done. As you just saw, I had to put some putty in between the two pieces of wood that we had to attach on that initial frame. So I'm going to allow some time for that to dry, and then in the morning I am going to come back, sand that down, and then based on the directions of the wallpaper, they do suggest to put down a coat of primer paint over top of the wood before you attach the paste and the wallpaper. So I'm going to do both of those tomorrow morning, along with getting the tile all nice and pretty before the reveal. So it has been another long day. I am going to pour a glass of wine, and I'm actually going to take a bubble bath because my body really is aching from here all the way down. Like every part of my body is sore, and I think that a bubble bath just sounds luxurious. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will meet you guys back here in the morning.
Things we were created for, possibilities, an open door that keeps us reaching out for more. Sure that I'm not sure, I know when I don't know it, so I listen for my inner
Other than adding some trim along the border of the room, she's done. So now that the tile is done, and by the way, doesn't it look amazing? I am just so happy that that other tile did not work out. But you know what? We'll talk about it during the reveal. But now that the tile is finished and now that the paint has dried on the wooden framed platform that we created last night, it is now time for me to go ahead and put the wallpaper onto the wood. So this company is amazing. They really provided everything that I needed, which I wasn't sure. I didn't even know that they were going to do. I thought they were just going to send me the wallpaper and be like, good luck. But they went ahead and sent over the adhesive. So basically what I have to do is take 5 liters of water and then place it into this bucket here, which I've already done. And I just go ahead, dump that in, mix it for 3 minutes, and then I'll have my paste. And then from there, they've also provided me with this diagram of my wallpaper based on the measurements that I provided to them. And basically it's just showing me that they sent me 4 different panels, and then there's little marks. I'm sure you probably can't see it on screen, but there's little marks that kind of show you where the divide, where each panel separates. And I think that's going to be really helpful as I start to install this onto the wood. So in addition to that, they gave me directions, they gave me a QR code for a video to watch, which, you know, obviously I watched that because I just needed to make sure that I had all of the steps down 100%. My mom and I used to wallpaper a long time ago, and I haven't wallpapered since. And so I just wanted a little bit of a refresher, and so the video that they provided was really, really helpful. So in addition to that, I have my roller. I have these 2 tools here that's going to help me just kind of get all of the air bubbles out and make sure everything is nice and flat. And then I have a cutter that's going to help me cut all of the excess paper from around the platform. And then of course I have my wallpaper. So I think we should just go ahead and get started. Yeah. Wish me luck. Oh my God. Oh, it is so beautiful. Oh, that is so beautiful. Do you guys see that? Wow, that's gorgeous. So I don't think that that would have been half as stressful if I wasn't filming it. Knowing that you guys were watching me put those seams together was very stressful, but we made it. So the last part of this project is actually putting on the frame. And unfortunately, the wood is not here. I thought that I bought enough wood to also make the frame, but it's nowhere to be found. So we're gonna have to go back to Lowe's and pick some up. The only thing is I have plans this evening to meet up with some friends for some drinks. And so I'm about to go inside and sweet talk Mark to see if he'll go to Lowe's for me this evening and pick up the wood so that when I come back in the morning, I can get that cut, get it stained, and then get it attached to the mural so that we can finally load in the room and do the final reveal. So let me go talk to Mark. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for drinks this evening, and then I'll see you guys back here in the morning. Hello, I am back. Last night was a great time with friends. We just kind of hung out, had some cocktails, laughed, had a great conversation. It was just really nice to take a break from all of these projects that we've been working on. And so while I was out, Mark was gracious enough to go and get the wood for me so that I can finish up this mural project. And not only did he get the wood, but he also cut it for me, which is going to save so much time, and I'm very appreciative. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get all of the wood stained. That's going to take some time. I'm going to stain it and then sand it, stain it again, poly it, get it all nice and pretty, and then once that's done, I'll go ahead, attach it to the mural, and then the next time that you guys see me will be when we load in the room. And I'm really excited to show you what the plan was for this space. So I'm gonna go ahead and get working. I'll show you guys kind of the process, and then again, like I said, next time you see me, we'll be inside in the foyer, and I'm really looking forward to that. So see you guys in a bit. Well, the time is here. It is time to load in the room, hang the mural, bring in all of the decor, and really bring this space to life. So you guys sit back, enjoy, and most of all, I really hope you love it. there you have it. What do you think? I hope that you guys love it even half as much as I do, because I really feel like this entryway now is so special and so personal and welcoming, and I absolutely love it. It feels very warm and cozy, and I really hope that that shows on camera, because when you see it in person, it really just does feel special, and I love that. I love how it ties perfectly into what's going on in the dining room in terms of the vibe, in terms of the colors. These, you know, colors that you see here within the mural are pulling in from the furniture that I picked, the fabric that I picked for the couch. The woodsy feeling of the dining room is also represented in this mural, and I am just so happy with it. Honestly, it's like chef's kiss. It really is. It really just does pull both of these spaces together beautifully, and I couldn't have asked for more. So I want to talk about a couple of the items that you saw me kind of decorate with, because there's some new things that we haven't talked about either here or in my newsletter. So let me flip the camera around and show you guys a few things, and then I'll let you go. First up is this beautiful cabinet that was actually Mark's grandmother's, and it was passed down to him. And when I initially saw this cabinet, I fell in love with it immediately. And so as we started talking about this makeover and what we wanted to do in this space, we knew for sure that this cabinet was staying and it was going to be prominent in some way. And so by adding it into this entryway area, it just makes it really special. It warms it up, it brings character, it brings depth, and I am just absolutely thrilled that we have this piece and we're able to use it in such a beautiful way. So next up is this beautiful vase, which I know that many of you have probably seen. It comes from Anthropologie, and lots of designers have been using it in their spaces. And typically I don't gravitate to trends and what everyone else is doing, but when I saw this piece, I knew that I had to have it. I just loved, of course, how neutral it was. It really could go into any room in your house. And of course, I loved how textural it was. And when I added it here on this table, it really did give it that pop that I was really looking for. So I got this candle holder at Pottery Barn, and I absolutely love it because you can put any candle that you want inside, and then the light from the candle kind of illuminates out through the marble and just makes a really pretty glow on your table. This brass ribbed vase I got from a seller on Etsy called Happy Go Vintage, I believe. If that's incorrect, I'll pop that on the screen, but you should absolutely follow her because she has some of the best vintage finds, and I've purchased several things from her in the past. I love collecting coffee table books, especially home coffee table books. And within this collection, of course, I had to include Nate Berkus's book because, of course, of this beautiful mural that I found because of him. I also love, obsessed with love collecting handmade pottery. And I found this one at a local vintage shop, and I just absolutely love it because it is kind of weird. I love the color of it. It's just very, I don't know, very sculptural, and I just think it's really cool in this space. This bowl came from the Brimfield flea market, so if you've seen that video, then this bowl looks familiar to you. And what I did was I added in this camera, and I got the idea for this by watching the home tour of Alvin Wayne on Apartment Therapy. And what he does is he also has a bowl in his entryway with a camera, and he takes pictures from everyone that comes to visit him, family, friends, even, you know, FedEx delivery. And I just loved it. I thought that it was kind of just like a cool modern take on a photo album. So when people come over, I want to take a selfie with them with this camera, and then maybe write on the back like who it was, what date it was, why they were here, and then throw that picture in this bowl, and it just will kind of collect over the years as we, you know, have visitors and guests in our home. And I think that's really special. So definitely adding this back into this bowl. And finally, I want to talk about these sconces. The moment that I saw them, I loved them. I loved how sculptural they are. They look like a piece of art. They look like a table lamp, but was made for the wall. I initially saw them in Kate's Kitchen from Wit and Delight, and she did a makeover. She put these sconces in there and I fell in love with them. I just thought that they were so unusual, they were cool, they were really special, much different than any other sconce that I have seen before. And so I found them online. They were actually on sale at the time and I purchased them, and they've been sitting in our garage for about 2 years now, but I knew eventually we would start working on our downstairs space, and I thought that I was actually going to put them up on the fireplace, but then when I saw this space starting to come together, I wanted to add some of those black accents into this area, and so I knew that I was going to put these sconces up next to this mural, and I think that they really do have a beautiful connection, and I'm so happy that I was able to put them in here. And finally, the tile. I love how it turned out, and now that I'm seeing the space and the furniture and the vibe, I know for sure that that terracotta would not have worked. And even if we would have found a brown tile, I really don't think that that would work. This cream was meant to be here. It gives it a pop, it gives it an elegance, and I just love it. I also really love that we added in that brass bar, that inlay bar between the wood and the tile. I think that just adds another little special moment in this space, and I think that I couldn't really have asked for more. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sticking in with me for not only this reveal, but the dining room reveal, and I'm positive, well, I'm not really positive because our couch still has not been delivered. It was supposed to be here by March 9th. Now they're saying it's April 9th. So I have no idea, but the moment that that couch arrives, I promise you that I'm gonna get started on doing the makeover in the living room, and then I'll be able to do a full downstairs reveal. But until then, we're still waiting on the couch to arrive. Now, I want to tell you guys that this is my last video for several weeks because I am having surgery. If you are following me on my newsletter, then you know exactly what surgery I'm having and why. And if you are not following my newsletter, then I highly suggest you do that. We have some great conversations here on YouTube. I also share a lot on Instagram, but in my newsletter, that's where it's really personal. That's where you start to hear about the day-to-day, the highs and the lows. And I told everyone this past Friday that I am having surgery on Tuesday, March 14th, and I'm gonna be down for a while, for several weeks, and I don't know when I'm gonna be back, but all I can do is promise you that I will be back eventually, stronger and better, with all sorts of fun things in terms of trips that I have planned and events that I'm going to. I'm going to the Beyonce concert. I have lots more things to reveal and make over in our home. And so while I'm gonna be gone for several weeks, I will be back. And so the best way to find out when I am coming back to the channel is by signing up for my newsletter, which I have a link down below, as well as a QR code at the end of this video that will take you directly to my site to sign up for that. And then also, if you want to turn on the notifications for this specific channel, it'll tell you immediately the times that I go ahead and post here. So with that, I hope that you guys can just send me your good vibes and your prayers. And I know that the surgery, you know, it's going to have me down for a little bit, but I'm going to be back. I promise I won't leave you hanging for too long, but I do need to take care of myself and take this time to heal. So with that, thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you guys enjoy the next several weeks that I'm not here. You better not forget about me. I am coming back. Do not forget about me. And yeah, I think I'll let you go now. So I will see you soon, right? I'll see you soon. Bye.